Welcome back to round number 12 of my F1 Championship Edition career mode. Last time out, well, we won.
We won it! Finally!
Yes! We fought back against all the criticism, all the abuse in the comments. We fended off all the well, not all the spins. Almost all the spins. We avoided any horrible penalties and we went on to win the French Grand Prix. In a Toro Rosso, Marco's currently happy with us. We'll see how long it lasts though, because we're going to Germany. As much as I love the Hockenheim track, with exception of one particular memory, which is very painful to relive. On any other game, I'd be absolutely thrilled to drive this track. I absolutely love this track. However, on this game, it does make me want to do unspeakable things to my state of living. I'm really trying not to get demonetized immediately. I love the track, but it's tough on this game. It's tough. I don't know if it's the AI or just my ability. Don't answer that. So because I was expecting it to be pretty tough, we go out immediately in qualifying. You're going to join us for the start of our lap in qualifying one. We're going to pass the Midlands straight off the line. Make a note of that. Is let us through as we start our lap. We go through the first corner nice and easy. It's very hesitant because I was expecting an auto spin curb. And oh look, we've got the Midlands that just let me through directly behind me. Is he going to dive me at turn number 2? Yes, he is. Thank you so much, Albers or Montero, whichever one you are. I don't particularly like you. Now the alarming part was once Christian Albers or Thiago Montero passed me, whichever one it was, I couldn't actually see them at the end of the lap. As we come through the third sector, I definitely can't see them now as we go for a spin at turn number 14. Don't worry, that won't be the last time you see me spin at turn number 14, I'm sure. We found an auto spin curb, we found another as we rejoin the track. That's a nice little just humiliation ritual there as we come through the final corner. It's been a pretty weak lap to start qualifying, so hopefully we can improve throughout the rest of the session. Honestly, going into this, I was expecting plenty of spins on the exit at turn number 11, so it's nice that I'm subverting my own expectations. On my following lap, oh, we're heading towards turn number 11, I can see where this is going. Yeah, I don't like that curve very much. With 9 minutes remaining, we're finally going to get a competitive time on the board. We currently sit P18, obviously not a representative lap. Currently Montero sits P16, we're going to change that as we cross the line to go P7 of a 117.8. That should be enough to see us through to Q2. And as we come back to the pit, we have dropped down to P14. That is a lot lower than I was hoping. Are we going to risk it? We've got 6 minutes left on the timer. Are we going to sit in the garage? Am I going to go back out? I can't remember what I actually did. I'm going to risk it. You fucking idiot. You absolute genius. I had absolute full faith. I knew what I was doing there. So jumping to the end of Q2. We've got 2 minutes left on the clock, which means we've got 1 lap left, not including the one we're on currently. Through the final corner we go. I'm guessing it's been a pretty good lap given how I've not spun yet. Where are we going to go provisionally?
16th!
Last. That's not good. Okay, so jumping to the end of the final lap in Q2. This is our last chance to get out of Q2, and honestly, I'm not hopeful whatsoever. Come through the final corner, we've gone fast in the first and second sector. We've gone fast in the third sector too, but we've only gone P14. That is a very underwhelming qualifying. Honestly, not as bad as I was expecting. You know, Q2 was a lot cleaner than Q1, but that is very underwhelming given how we won last race. We're going to start the German Grand Prix from P14. We've beaten 2 Red Bulls, so that's good. Just focus on that part, Marco. Don't look at the position I'm in, just focus on who I've beaten. It's going to be Felipe Massa taking pole position ahead of teammate Michael Schumacher on the front row. Unfortunately, Barrichello is P3. You know me, I'm strongly against the success of the Honda team in general. That's why it's much nicer to look at Button and P9. Okay, P14 for the German Grand Prix. I don't think points are going to be on today, but we're going to see what happens. Maybe there's a crash that we can take advantage of. Let's find out. 5 lights. Lights out. And away we go. It's been a pretty mediocre start. We're going to be side by side with Webber down towards turn number 1. We're not really side by side with Webber. I just said that for the sake of it. We are extremely cautious through turn number 1, probably fearing that I was going to get taken out by Webber. That's, I think, a completely reasonable fear to have. Down towards turn number 2. We're going to now dive up the inside of Webber and the Toyota of Ralf Schumacher. I think have we taken the wheel off Ralf Schumacher? I don't think so. We very nearly did though, and we've got up to P12. We're now miles behind P11. No hopes of getting the slipstream, and as we know, this car is terrible in a straight line, so I'm probably going to be under threat from David Coulthard into the hairpin. A very dangerous corner on this track with the AI. Are we going to lose a wheel into the braking zone? Nope, but that's a lot to process. I saw the Honda of Fernando Alonso on the apex of the hairpin, and I think I saw a Williams there involved, among many other cars that had fucked it at the hairpin, and we're going to take full advantage. We've gone up to P8. Honestly, it's just nice to see an incident on track and not be involved in it for once. So P8 on the opening lap, we're behind Juan Pablo Montoya. Hopefully we can stay with him and steal some of his slipstream, because God knows we need it. But given that was a shock in qualifying, that's been an absolutely unbelievable start, and I can't wait to throw it away. I've not even made it one lap and already I can't see Montoya. Oh, I can. I see him he's a speck in the distance. He's 2.4 seconds up the road, and now I've got Alonso behind me down the straight. This will be fun. This will be really, really fun. I'll be honest, I've got no hope of holding back the Renault, because they are significantly faster than me. We're going to leave him plenty of room on the inside of the hairpin, because I was scared he was going to dive bomb me and take me out. We've managed to defend against him on this occasion, and genuinely, I'm just as shocked as you are. Coming on to lap number 3, and I'm somehow still ahead of Fernando Alonso, and still intact. I've got no damage to my car. I've not hit an auto spin curb yet, despite my attempts at turn number 1 there. But I will say, despite the fact that I was holding back the Renault, I still had absolutely no faith that I was getting points in this race, especially because Alonso was going to dive me at turn number 2, and now he's going to easily drive off into the distance, and I'm never going to see him again. We are actually going to steal just a little bit of slipstream from the Renault down the straight and enter the braking zone of the hairpin. I don't actually mean to send this move on Alonso at the hairpin, but it works out perfectly. It was a very AI move, I will admit. It was genuinely not intentional. I just outbraked myself, and, well, I think you could perfectly see the panic that I had as I head towards the bright blue Renault. My life did flash before my eyes, but luckily, or, you know, depending on your viewpoint, perhaps unfortunately, I've survived it. So, lap number 4 and round number 3 of the Toro Rosso versus the Renault down the main straight. We've actually got a fairly insignificant gap to the Renault. I'm not even going to try and lie to you on that one. Into the braking zone of the hairpin. We have been dived, there has been contact, but there's no damage. I did move in the braking zone, I will admit. Again, it wasn't intentional, it's just an extremely terrifying place to be. In dive bomb danger of the Championship Edition AI. It's difficult. It is very difficult and traumatic and stress inducing. Maybe I need to talk to someone. You know, despite how little faith I had that I was going to hold back Alonso, as the laps ticked by, I started actually to gain more confidence. I started to learn how the AI acted and where the danger zones were on this track, which, for the most part, was just in 2 spots. Into the braking zone at turn number 2, which you'll see right now. We're going to leave plenty of room for Fernando Alonso as he dives up the inside. But we're able to get a better exit as we come onto the main straight. And that leads us to the second danger point of this track, as you've seen before, the hairpin. I'm not even going to acknowledge the massive gap to the cars ahead. We are definitely not getting P7, and to be fair, we're not getting P8 as Fernando Alonso goes over inside into the hairpin. This time he's got past us into the braking zone. We're going to try and get back at him into the following braking zone. Are we going to have an outrageous send like we did last time? No, we're not. We're going to let him have it. Alonso has destroyed my fighting spirit. We've given up P8. We've given up a points playing position. Unless there's a retired car ahead of us, we've definitely lost points this race. But let's face it, they were never really on. Next up though is Nico Rosberg, who is much more our level. He's much more of a similar base car. We might actually be able to be on pace with him. We've got a 1.7 second gap to him, so we've no longer got a 1.7 second gap to him. We've spun at the corner we did in qualifying, and I mean, we saw it coming, right? It was always going to happen. I'm surprised I lasted this long, to be fair. We only dropped down to P12, which honestly is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. However, in the space of one lap, we have bottled points and a top 10 finish, because we definitely don't have the pace to catch the cars ahead. 12 and a bit laps remaining, and we still sit P12. We haven't spun it in a few laps, which is nice. That's a nice change. It is time for pit stops though, so we're going to move up the grid. Definitely not any net positions. We're definitely going to be cemented in P12 by the looks of it. We're going to go up to P10 thanks to pit stops though. I'm really just saying this so you don't question why I've moved up positions and not acknowledged it. Nothing is going to come of this. The same is going to happen on the following lap. We're going to move up positions thanks to pit stops, and then we're going to immediately lose them as we make our pit stop. We go to P7. That's nice. It's nice to be this high up. What the fuck was that? On this occasion, I've got absolutely no problems with that. That was completely... honestly, arguably I deserve more. And we're getting dive bombed by Fisichella. You know what? Fair enough. I don't even know what happened there. I've got no excuse. Coming to the end of lap number 11, we will be making our stop at the end of this lap. I'm hoping that, for the love of... what just happened to my car? I cut the corner, fair enough, but why did my car go left? And why is... I get my tyres are worn, obviously, because I've been spinning, but I don't understand how my car went left there, into the gravel. That I mounted the curb, and the curb was very aggressively saying no. It's fair to say lap number 11 has not been on lap this race. The track is telling me no. The entire track is really not liking my existence right now. We're going to come into the pit. Hopefully the pits are around safe. I need some safe place right now. We're going to exit the pit with a 7.5 second stop, and we're going to come out in P13 behind Mark Webber, ahead of Jacques Villeneuve. I'm going to assume that is a net P13 given my in-lap. It wasn't a great in-lap. There definitely could have been some improvements. So I'm going to assume we are net P13. Well, unfortunately, it's looking like it's going to be a very dull end to my race. 6 laps remaining, we currently sit P13 still. Obviously, no hopes of catching the cars ahead. We've had no retirements, and I have lost it at the final corner. We've kept it out of the barriers, but we've now had to wait for the Toyota, the Super Aguri, and the Sauber to drive by. We're going to rejoin in P15 as we come on to lap number 16. We're going to be just ahead of Christian Albers. We're not going to be just ahead of Christian Albers. He has dived me into the first corner and taken me out. You know, over the course of my time ahead of Fernando Alonso, I really thought I'd learn where the danger points were on this track with the AI. Genuinely, what the fuck was that? Michael Schumacher is going to win his home Grand Prix ahead of teammate Felipe Massa. Another blow in the championship for Felipe Massa. Barrichello gets another fucking podium, and it continues to annoy me every single race. And on the second page of results, Takuma Sato is going to get an incredible P12 for Super Aguri, and Yuji Ide is going to get an incredible result for Yuji Ide. In the Drivers' Championship, the gap is now down to just 10 points between Massa and Schumacher. Montoya is somehow in third still. Genuinely, I do not know what he is doing to hold on to third. I have not seen him this entire season. He's actually pulling a George Russell. In the Constructors, it is still Ferrari domination, 154 points to McLaren's 91. Genuinely, I'm shocked at how bad Renault are doing, given how they are the fastest car and the best team on this game. I don't know how they're battling with Honda, especially when Honda are too busy taking me out, when they're not delegating it to the Midlands cars. Well, I won't lie, that was an underwhelming result. Oh. Did they watch the race? Your last performance for Scuderia Toro Rosso was excellent. I think I've broken the helmet marker.